Hey everyone, Shockwing here, and I'm going to be playing more of What Remains of Edith Finch. Now, I took a quick look without spoiling anything for myself, and it looks like I was, in fact, very close to the end of the game last episode. Now, if this episode only lasts 10-ish minutes, I don't want to just have you guys wait a whole day for that to be released, so I might just add it on to the previous episode. And if that's the case, you're still watching this previous episode, and we're gonna just keep going straight for it. Now, where am I? Oh yeah, I was in Louis Finch's room, and that was a very sad story indeed. And we're gonna continue forward. We have almost everyone done, if not everyone. We're missing Dawn, and remember, she's pregnant now. So, let's continue forward. Let's get right into it, just in case I do have to add this to the next episode, or add this to the previous episode rather. And I'm hoping...
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
And I'm hoping
I'm
that...
not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
That we're going to discover more about this family curse.
I wish we'd stayed.
What room is
But I
this?
understand
Oh.
why we left.
What was it? Did that move? I don't know. In loving memory, Louis Finch. Oh, that's sad. Louis seemed like a really cool dude, and it seemed like him and Edith were very close.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
And they left the
What
house.
happened that night had been coming for a long time.
So something big happened to make them leave, because this house has been standing for years, and the Finch family has been dying through this whole time. So something big must have happened for them to finally leave the house. Oh, I'm not moving right now. She moved. That was all her. Okay, we're gonna go up here.
But it had to end one way or another.
Oh, this is my room.
To tell you about that last night.
I think. Yeah, this is my room. I did not actually see this part coming.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma,
Eating Chinese
you
again.
know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Remember, Edie, the grandmother, didn't leave even when there was a forest fire. So she ain't leaving now. Can I go back in? I want to finish the Chinese food. Alright, fine. Alright, fine, I'll leave.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
Ooh, we're gonna get to
Or
the
that
library
Edie
now.
had a key to it.
Okay. Now, I was looking back at the previous video again, and I'm still confused about how Milton disappeared or died.
The thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
And I did release the previous, or the episode 1 on YouTube, and I got actually in a comment that I'll mention later on
My children are dead
about Molly.
because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
How did her stories kill her kids? That seems like her mom is kind of projecting her fear onto Edie. History of the Finches by Edith Finch.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
I'm assuming I'm playing Edie now.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground.
Are we gonna go to the old house?
Earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They
Whoa.
called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful.
I can imagine.
I've seen that house every day of my life.
There's no way Edie was born. Oh, she was. Wow, Edie's bridging almost 100. Okay. So she was born.
Never thought
Okay.
I'd go back
When this house was completely built and not
when the fog
in the ocean.
I lost my way.
Uh-oh. Well, she's okay. She's still alive.
I got turned around.
Oh, no. Oh, that's a rock. It's a big boulder. Wow, it is difficult to see anything. I hope I'm going the right way. And not backwards.
I started seeing things.
What the fuck? This game has a lot of what the fuck moments.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Oh, her bed?
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me.
Wow.
Or maybe I came back to them.
We're gonna go check out the first house. Where maybe this curse started, if this curse is real.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
No,
It's
Mom!
not- Edith!
Mom,
I
you
need to
could've
know
written
what
it down.
happened! Let go, Mom! Mom, let me
I
check.
kicked and screamed, but
Oh.
Mom dragged me to the car.
Why can't I find out about this? Why is she so
I
scared?
never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
Oh no. So this happened in
Next
2009
morning, the van
ish.
came to pick her up, but she was
Oh.
already gone.
So 2010. It happened in 2010. Oh, that's so
After
sad.
that, we moved around a lot.
The last moment her mom had with her grandma was
We
a
both tried
fight.
to make the best of it.
Oh, I can do this. Oh, that's so cool. I love the way they do this art with the
A
text
few years went by.
and the animation with the text. It's phenomenal. Like that. Like, oh my god.
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest
Uh-oh.
happened pretty quickly.
Uh-oh. Can I move? Oh. Oh,
She
no.
got better for a while. And then she didn't. And then I was alone.
Poor Edith.
The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you.
The pregnancy.
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
I can move.
This journal was supposed to be for you.
Oh, I don't like where this is going. I don't like what I think
Now
this
I hope
is.
you'll never see it.
I don't want to play being born.
I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Ew. Ew. Mm-mm.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
I wasn't Edith from the beginning? The whole time I was her kid reading her journal. I don't know why, like she said, if you're reading this, then it's unfortunate I couldn't tell you all these stories. And it just didn't click until that happened for me. Wow. I have goosebumps. Though we didn't get as much information as I would have liked. But I'm going to try to sum up as best as I can from right now. I don't know if it'll change because there's so many little things that you can interpret from this game that after watching a few times it might change, or if I hear someone or read about something about this game of other people's theories, my ideas might change. But it's not supernatural. And I don't think the point of the game is to find out if it's the family curse is true or not. And it kind of just hit me when I was finishing up this game. It seems like the point of this game isn't to find out about a family curse. It's not to find out about how each of them died, though each person's stories and how they died were fascinating and sad. But it's about cherishing the time you have that you have. No one knows how much time they have, and no one knows when their time comes, and we just have to enjoy it as best we can before that time comes. Inevitably, we all are cursed with death, and for this family it just was more prevalent than a typical family, and so they had death just at their doorstep constantly, and that many of them were still able to enjoy their life the way they wanted and saw fit. And Edith's mom, Dawn, seemed to have trouble with that concept. She was scared of it and she wanted to run, but she couldn't run. You can't run from death, and it caught her. And it seemed like most of her life she was just trying to escape it, and maybe she didn't do the things that she wanted to do in her life because of that. But we get to see all these other characters. We saw another character with Walter, I believe his name was, who just hid in the basement the entire time. Again, someone who wasn't enjoying life, trying to escape it and couldn't. But then you have people like Sam and his brother Carlton, I believe his name was. Even the baby. All these characters, oh my god, that baby's face, that's fucking scary. But all these characters managed to enjoy their life, even though some of them didn't live for long. And that's the important message to take from this. You don't know when it's going to happen, but both Dawn and Walter obviously were not happy in their situations, and it still caught up with them anyway. So you do with what you can, and you have fun with what you have. Now, back to what I was talking about with the YouTube comments. There was a YouTube comment. I'm just going to pull it up right here because I did forget the name. Maskian Rin 13. So typically I record these videos quite a few in advance. But this one was kind of on the back burner, and I actually released the first episode before finishing this game. And I remember in the first episode, even prior in this episode, because I am going to attach this episode to the previous episode. If you remember in the episode 1, and even in this episode, I was confused about Barbara's story and Molly's story, and still wondering if there's some sort of supernatural thing going on or what this family curse is. But especially with Molly's. Molly seemed to be that thorn, that big green thumb that just didn't seem to fit with anyone else's. Even Barbara's I could pass off as a comic book, and oh, that's cool, as a comic book, and it just exaggerates her death. And as for Molly, even though yes, she's a kid and she could just be dreaming it, or not formulating her thoughts as well, and that's the best way she could do it, I couldn't figure out what she was trying to tell me. And Maskian Rin 13 suggested that it wasn't the fact that she starved to death, but actually that she was ill, very, very ill. Whether it be just from poisoning from the things she ate. He suggested that the mistletoes that I ate were poisonous. Or it was just a whole fever dream because she was poisoned, or just very, very sick. And that could very well explain Molly's story. She was going a little delusional, and that's what ended up killing her. But man, what a story. Wow, what a story. I mean, it was at times tough to go through just because how sad and unfortunate this game and this family was. But the way the stories were told, with not only the text animation, but how they were presented to us, was phenomenal and so engaging. It was a great game, an amazing game, and I'm a little sad it is over. But at least the Finches continue on with this new Finch boy. And thanks for joining me, guys. It was a lot of fun. And if you like this game, you can check out the other ones that I have right now. And remember to like, subscribe, and comment below. And I'll see you in the next video. Shockwing, out. Oh, there, and ducks start falling from with bubbles. I love it. This is what kids see all the time. Ooh, more ducks. I want all the ducks. His world is fucking amazing. Just ducks from all over the place coming in bubbles.